It's quite the find. Hello friends, and welcome back to Crow's Thrifty Finds. My name is Melanie. So for this week's video, it is going to be a what sold video. So I'm going to discuss some sales that I've had recently on eBay, and let me tell you, I think this week on eBay has been the busiest week I have possibly had all year. I don't know if it's been the same for you all. I know that the ebbs and flows of eBay vary from person to person, but it was a very, very busy week for me. So there's a lot of sales, and I had some good sales even before this week that I'm going to highlight in this video. But before I get to that, I figured I would share my find of the week. What have I been finding this week? Well, this week, my favorite find is this vintage Guns N' Roses t-shirt. It's that very heavyweight cotton that you came to expect from the 90s. I'm kind of glad we have phased it out a little bit. But yeah, this shirt is actually from 2005, so it says on here. So it's vintage, sort of. I mean, it's vintage as of next year, so I'm still going to call it vintage anyways. But very cool shirt, and I just haven't seen a lot of band shirts this yard sale season. So when I get one, I get excited about it. It's not the greatest size. It is an adult small, so it actually probably would fit me, and I kind of like it. But I remind myself that I'm not the biggest Guns N' Roses fan ever, and there might be somebody who appreciates it more than me. So it'll probably end up on eBay in the next few days. But let's talk sales. First off, we have this set of headphones. It's a Sony Bluetooth headphones. I got these from the bins. They were just laying in there. I tested them out. They worked. Probably paid $1 or $2 for them at the bins. You know how that goes. Things at the bins can be very cheap. And I turned around and sold them for $40. So that was a great flip. Next, we have a Duffman costume. Love Duffman. This costume was great. Like, I just saw it right away, and I just knew, like, people are going to want to be this for Halloween. Goodwill had it for $7, and I was able to sell it for $40. As a reminder, if you haven't listed your Halloween stuff, get to it. Now is the time. Next, we have a vintage Fisher-Price Doctor's Kit. Now, this was complete and even had a couple little extra pieces. This came as part of a lot that I bought off of Shop Goodwill. I'm already in the green for it, so this is just straight in my pocket money. $23 is what I sold it for. Next, we have a Shrieking Grim Reaper. Again, Halloween time. I paid $5 for this at a garage sale. It sold for $25. So a nice little profit there. Next, we have a Charlie Daniels Band cassette. Now, this is a brand new cassette. When I can find brand new cassettes of recognizable bands, I'm picking them up. I actually got a bunch of brand new cassettes at this garage sale. I paid 50 cents each. So I sold this one for $18, a little below what I like to make on sales, but not by much. So really, it was still worth selling. Next, we have a Scentsy Buddy giraffe plush. And these things sell well. This is actually the second one of those that I've sold. So I paid $5 for this one, and it sold for $42. Now, there's free shipping, so my profit's going to be a little bit smaller. And of course, we have to factor in eBay fees, right? Those darn eBay fees, but still a good profit nonetheless. Next, we have a vintage 1973 Lesney Captain Pegleg Pirate action figure. That's very wordy. I actually got this guy included in a lot of other vintage dolls. Like there was like Lone Ranger dolls and things like that. I paid $15 for the lot. So I sold this for $21. So I'm in the green now, but the other dolls are yet to be sold. So hopefully I'll get more in the green in the future. Next we have Empire blow molds. Now, I mentioned this in a previous video. This was a great pickup. I paid $50 for a ton of vintage Empire blow molds, and a couple of them were in the boxes, and this is one of them. These are the Three Wise Men. Truthfully, there was only two, so I had to discount this. But people collect the boxes and want the boxes to hold them in, so the box carried some value in itself. So the value that you see here, $150, I'm now in the green from the $50 lot. And many, 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 many more blow molds to be sold. So good stuff. Next, we have a Patagonia Retro X jacket. I recognize this style of jacket. I've sold it before. I paid $30 for this one, which was a little high, but I knew that I could sell it for $90. It came off of Marketplace. So yeah, the profit was still good, nothing to complain about. Next, we have a cute little dude that was featured in a recent video as my find of the week. So I paid 50 cents for this Sackboy plush, and this is from a video game in case you missed the other video. And he sold very quickly for $54. So 50 cents to $54, that is a great, fantastic flip. Next, we have teaks. Teaks are very valuable. If you ever see these, don't get grossed out because they're flats. People buy used flats as shoes, so don't be afraid to pick them up. I paid $20 for these at a thrift store that kind of knew what they had, but ended up selling them for $60. So that was definitely a good flip as well. Next, we have Star Wars Rebels figure. Figure's name is Ahsoka. Forgive me if I pronounced it wrong. I'm not a big Star Wars fan. This came in a lot of figures that I got from a thrift store. So when I can find, the $15 figures, I like to sell those. I'm going to make a huge profit on that action figure lot in general. This is just one of the many items that was from it. So 15 with free shipping. It's super cheap to mail these, like under $4. So I'm happy with it. Next, we have a University of Oregon Ducks pillow pet. I paid $3 for this guy. He's brand new, and he sold for $35. Perfect time of year to get him listed, right when college students are getting settled into their dorm rooms and want some company. So there they go. Next, we have a pair of Doc Martens. Now, these were kind of a smaller woman, youth-sized boot. And I paid $10 for them. They did sit for a little while, but eventually they sold for $46. So $36 profit before eBay fees, pretty good. I try to pick up Doc Martens almost always, as long as they're priced fairly, because Doc Martens are really, really good sellers to anybody who doesn't know. Next, we have a Michael Kors bag. I wish I could say this sold quickly. It did not. I had this for a little over a year. I paid $20 for it last summer at a garage sale. Sold it for $50. I'll take it. Next, we have a Joe Camel cigarette shirt. This was new. You could tell it had that like new feeling to it. Unfortunately, it was navy and not black, so we didn't really have to worry about dry rot too bad. So I tested just in case, but it seems fine. I paid $1 for it, sold it for $25. I had it priced higher, but then I started lowering it because it just kind of sat for a while. So even selling a shirt for $25 that you paid $1 for, there's nothing to complain about. Next, we have some Childcraft book series from the 80s. To be honest, I'm not even 100% sure what these are. I think they're kind of like an encyclopedia for kids. I got them free off a Curb, and I was very delighted to see that they have value. They sat for a little while, not super long, because that Curb Alert pickup time of year for my city was in, I think, April or so. So it didn't, sell right away, but sold for $55. So for free, that is great. Next, this was a very recent pickup. I just picked this up a couple of weeks ago. Sterling reindeer plush decoration. It was in with the stuffed animals in a Goodwill that I went to out in Minneapolis. And it ended up being a good find. It was very detailed, very nice. People put them up, in windows and things for decoration, or somebody could be buying it to give to a child, but it is technically not a stuffed animal, but it is a decorative plush. So I paid $6, sold it for $26, got my $20 profit. Works for me. Next, we have a very cool item. Pretty sure it was a find of the week at one point. This is a Lisa Frank Y2K box. Bought it for $2 at a garage sale. Sold it for $50. That was about what I was expecting for it. It didn't sell as quick as I was kind of thinking it would, but I am happy to see it go. And that's going to complete the sales for this week. Hopefully you all learned some more items to be on the lookout for, because these items were definitely all worth picking up. And until next week, my name is Melanie. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next week.